cleaning process has started. Well, I guess well underway. So cases are all cleaned up. All of the threads in the cases, so where the cases bolt together, the lifter blocks, all the threads for the lifter blocks, all the holes for the cam plate, all that stuff has been chased and cleaned out, which I highly recommend because there was quite a bit of material and original casting material that came out from when they cast and cut all the holes. The crank is all cleaned up, ready to go to Dark Horse. That's the box it's going to go in. And hopefully I'll get the bike out here next weekend and clean up all the gunk in the areas that I can't get to, where the case meets up with the transmission, you know, in behind the primary cover, all that stuff that you don't actually get to when you do a normal cleaning. And so when the crank comes back and from Dark Horse, we will take the cases and the crank over to Jack's here in town, and I will have him put all new bearings because I don't have a press, so I don't want to beat them in and beat them out. So I can have Jack replace all of the main bearings, all the cam bearings, and the cam plate, because the cam plate is going away. Ordering a new cam plate, new oil pump, new cams, 509 S&S cams. And so I'll have him press the cams into the cam plate, have him put new inner cam bearings in, so that all the bottom end will be brand new. And then next year, we will do the big bore kit and the heads possibly. That's kind of the plan. So I know I said I was going to do the big bore kit now, but when I took everything apart, what I found was the crank had run out so bad that it damaged the cam plate and the oil pump because it had so much run out and the motor was sumping so bad. So to save me some money this year, I decided let's just get the bottom end tightened up, get the bottom end all done, all balanced out. I'll replace everything, be like brand new, better than new. So then next winter, I can do heads or jugs, big bore kit, go to a 95. Seems to be kind of the next progression with the 88s. 98, a lot of guys are saying 98, yeah, no problem, but this bike's pretty special to me. I used to ride a lot of sport bikes. Bob and Don and Ronnie, we chased each other around for a lot of years on sport bikes. And once my wife and I got married, we had kids, started a business, all that good stuff, I got rid of the bikes. And then later here in life, I decided, well, I want to ride again. My kids are all older. My oldest is 31. He's got some grandkids. And then my two younger boys, one just turned 18. He's graduated. He's getting ready to take off for life. And my youngest is 16. So I decided I wanted to ride again. And so I looked and talked to the wife about it. And I found this girl down in Sandy, Oregon. We're in Eastern Washington. And I looked at it. It was a great deal. It looked really clean, really pretty. And I decided, well, you know, it's wintertime. I don't want to do this. It was fall, actually. I didn't want to do it. I'll wait till spring. Well, lo and behold, what happened is my wife called my older son, who happens to live down in Vancouver, and said, hey, can you help me out? Because she had talked to the guy that was selling this bike and said, hey, I want to buy this bike for my husband, blah, blah, blah. I told him the whole story. Well, he didn't want to do it because he had other people coming to look at it. Well, his wife heard the story from my wife, and she told him, you're going to sell it to these people. So thank you for that if you ever see this video, because I love the bike. But it is a great story, and the bike means a lot to me because my oldest son was moving from Seattle back down to Vancouver, and it's quite a drive, and he was coming home late with his last load, and my wife called him and said, hey, can you go over and pick the bike up, because if you don't, they're going to sell it. So he went over in the rain with his wife, and they picked the bike up. They paid for it. He rode it home in the rain, stuffed it in his garage, and my wife tells me, hey, we got to go down and see the kid's new house. because they had just moved into a new house, and she's like, they're not gonna be able to come for Christmas this year, so we're gonna go down there the weekend before. Well, my birthday is December 16th, and so she says we got to go down and see their new house, and celebrate Christmas with them and all this stuff. Well, long story short, we get down there and they're showing us the house, and we walk in the garage, and there's my Fatboy with balloons and everything on it. I had no idea. My wife had rented a trailer. She packed my riding gear in case I wanted to ride it. She had tie downs. She had everything lined up so that we could get this bike home, and it was one of the biggest surprises of my life. So this bike will always be in my garage till the day I die, and then hopefully one day it'll go to one of my boys and stay in this family. But so I'm not going to mutilate it. It is going to be babied for the rest of its life, but we're going to ride it. I love to ride, and I like long rides. Like I said, I did a 1,700 mile ride this last summer with my brother-in-law. I met him down in California. We went to Tahoe and had a great trip, 6 days, 1,772 miles. It was a great trip. We're already planning next year, so that's what we're going to do. And that's why the crank is going to go to Dark Horse. It's going to get balanced. It's going to get trued. It's going to get welded, so I don't ever have problems with it. Oh shit! There goes the compressor. Sorry, thought I turned that off. Guess not. So anyway, that's the story of the bike. A little bit about me, but yeah, this thing's pretty special to me. So I'll always keep it. I'll always have this bike. I probably will buy another bike again, just something a little bit more comfortable for the longer rides, but I want to be able to hop on this thing with my wife and go wherever we want, whenever we want, not have issues. So that's why I'm doing things the way I'm doing them, and trying to make sure that everything is done correctly so I don't have issues on the road. Last thing I want is to be 500-600 miles away from home and have this thing go down. So that's it. And if anybody's watching this, which doesn't seem like too many people are, but hey, thank you to whoever is watching it, and I'll give you an update soon when I get some parts back.